quit on that one and see what happens. Let's go to more important stuff. Great stuff today.
Much better and much better.
Much more and importanter.
And relevanter.
Saudi Arabia launched an ambitious 12 trillion riyal, $3.2 trillion program on Tuesday to boost the role of the private sector in diversifying the economy, increasing resilience, and supporting sustainable growth. Under the new Sharik program, that's what's called Sharik, private sector businesses will be helped to invest 5 trillion riyal between now and 2030, along with 3 trillion riyals from the country's sovereign wealth fund, PIF, and 4 trillion riyal as part of a new national investment strategy. This was announced by Crown Prince Mohammed Salman, MBS. This is what he said. Building a vibrant and prosperous private sector is one of the national priorities for the kingdom. And this is why we are today inaugurating a new and more powerful era in terms of cooperation and partnership between the government and private sector, which is super important. The new Sharik program will help the private sector create hundreds of thousands of new jobs and will boost the contribution to the private sector to GDP by up to 65%. 65.
Okay, that's huge.
By the end of the decade, as part of the goal of Vision 2030.
That's a huge leap.
The Crown Prince said the significance of Sharik program was not limited to enhancing the private sector's role in the sustainable growth of the national economy. We see it as a long-term investment in the kingdom's future and prosperity, based on stronger collaboration between the public and private sector.
You're here.
That is amazing.
That is great.
That is amazing.
That is basically us.
If the private sector plays it correct,
coming together,
if they play it right, this is going to help everybody.
Definitely.
So the government right now is lending a hand.
A rising tide is going to lift all the boats.
Now, these players need to play it right. If they don't play it right, I truly wish that they get smacked with a hammer.
No, I think the way it was announced, there was, I think, an entire hour-long interview. Now, it wasn't an interview. It was an announcement of the whole project with the Crown Prince and with basically all of the heads of the big companies. I walked in last night. When I went home, I saw it was on the news. So I think the way it was rolled out, there was plenty of discussions with all of the different entities in the economy on their requirements and on their needs.
Banks, PIF, Aramco,
all of the different industries,
investment banks, everybody.
And there is an acknowledgement of, okay, you know what? If we work together, we will be able to do so much more than if everybody is going to work on their plans on their own. So this is basically, it seems a manifestation of that basically coming to life.
We just hope that the private sector plays it correctly. And I really hope there's a lot of oversight on the private sector, because I'm not talking about here, I'm talking about everywhere, worldwide. Whenever the private sector gets involved in government money, they start cutting corners, they start doing trash.
I mean, globally, honestly,
yes,
a lot of the governments, there's a lot of shady business that goes under the table between governments and private sector.
I agree.
And right now, what we have going on here is far from that.
Y'all learned your lesson, I think.
Exactly.
I think y'all should have learned your lesson.
Exactly. It's far from that. So there's no...
Those games will not be played.
That time has passed. We are beyond that. We are now at a phase where we are truly all looking forward together, and we all truly do want to move forward together. Like, it's not about me anymore. It's about all of us.
What's that number? 28 trillion? Was it 28 billion?
What do you mean?
12 trillion. They mentioned. There's
$3.2 trillion, which is 12 trillion riyal.
There's bigger numbers when it comes in relation to the government spending that's going to be happening over the next 10 years.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. So in addition,
over the next 10 years, we're going to spend more than we have ever spent since
in the last 100 years. Yeah, the government said that.
Last 300 years.
Yeah, that's 300 years.
Yeah, MBS said that, and it sounds like
adding to those numbers, you add, I think,
sounds promising.
7 trillion of government spending over the next 10 years until 2030. Plus 3 trillion in predicted consumers.
Basically, to our listeners and viewers, there's money in the kingdom. There's money in banks waiting to be picked up by businesses. SMEs. This is your time to shine. Jump up, grab something, and look at the consumer and help drive everything up.
Yep.
That's gonna be a run. So big projects are coming. Big projects.
It's not just the time to shine. It's the place to be. Like the transformation that's going to be happening.
I want to tell you something. I love the Crown Prince so much. But I'm going to tell you a story based on what I heard from what he said. I heard something different than everybody else, but it's because it's a personal story. But let's play back to some of the things that he said, okay? Hold up. I'm going to jump right here.
ثابت ولا ننتظر دعم أو استثمار خارجي. إن أتى أهلا وسهلا وهو يشكل أقل من 10% ولم يأتي ف90% إحنا قائمين فيها. شكرا.
Oh, my bad. They went all the way to the end. Oh, no, I don't want this one. Where's the long one? Did we send it in the group?
I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
There was a longer version because the way he was. Yeah, I
No.
think this is the one. This is the one.
اسمح لي اخ
There we
احمد
go,
قبل لا تبدا بس ودي انوه على نقطه معينه الاخوان
Let me jump in.
ثقه في العالم لتشكيل هذا الصندوق اللي سوف يكون حجمه ما يقارب من نصف تريليون ريال الى تريليون ريال، ما نقدر نعلن عنها الان لانها لسه الى الان تحت النقاش، لكن هذه قد تكون اتيه في الطريق، نصف تريليون لتريليون ريال اضافيه. كذلك نعمل اليوم مع وزاره الطاقه وارامكو على برنامج طموح في الاب ستريم والداون ستريم بشكل اكبر معلن عنه، هذا قد يضيف الى نصف تريليون لتريليون اخر اضافيه الى السبندنج اللي في 10 سنوات القادمه. كذلك هناك مبادرات كثيره في المحتوى المحلي وهي الاكبر لم تطلق الى الان، قد تضيف ايضا من نصف تريليون الى تريليون ريال اضافيه، مما يعني هناك تريليون ونصف الى 3 قد تاتي في الطريق، لكن هذه نحن ضامنينها، عشان كذا ما القيتها في كلمه
ضامنينها.
لكن if we take ال 27 تريليون ريال 10 سنوات القادمه، 7 تريليون دولار 10 سنوات القادمه، ايش يعني هذا الرقم؟ هذا الرقم يعني انه في ال10 سنوات القادمه the spending في المملكه العربيه السعوديه اكثر من ال 300 سنه الماضيه منذ تاسيس المملكه السعوديه الاولى.
27 trillion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what I heard.
Okay.
First, give me your point of view because mine's going to do it somewhere else.
That's an unimaginably large number.
Yes.
It's not something.
It's a mission.
It's huge.
It's not just a mission. It's a transformation.
It is. Well, this is the vision.
Yeah,
We're
it's-
transforming.
yeah, this is it. This is it right in front of us.
So let me tell you a story. Why I'm so proud of this guy. Okay.
Okay.
So I used to work for someone that will remain nameless. And it was at the time when I first came back from the States.
Okay.
And when I came back, my Arabic was super weak, which it still is.
Do you still have hair then?
Yes, champs. Yes, this is the conversation. Yes,
Okay.
this is where we're going. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for the comedy.
Go on.
Yes. Anyway. Swear to God, man.
So
This is sad ass jokes.
Okay.
So what's the name? So I used to work for this guy, and I remember once he called in, and I was describing what was needed to be done, and I was mixing between my Arabic and English because my vocab in English was stronger than my Arabic.
Okay.
And so by the end of the workday, the head of his office came to me, and he was like, "Listen, I'm gonna give you this tip. This is coming from upstairs. It's like never speak with any English terms from this day forward." And I was like, "Why?" It was like, "You're Saudi, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes, I am." He was like, "Well, learn it." And he just walked away. And I was like, "My guy, like you hired me for my what?" No, man, cool. Anyway, so I got smacked with that a lot. And now I sit here, listen to the Crown Prince talking in the same way that I talk when I'm speaking in Arabic, and I imbibe my English in it, and it's normal.
Because it is normal.
Well, again, you don't know that. You don't know that. You say that. You don't know
Yes.
that. And so it made me so proud listening to those little things when I was told that, yo, I wasn't Saudi enough because of the way that I speak. Like, I never tell you guys my struggles with Kev. Like, I always try to avoid my struggles when I came back here and ignore it. And some people, like, you know, they like to judge how they want to judge. But listen to those little words in between, like, it did something inside of me, which it's not nasty, all right?
I hope not.
But, like, it made me so proud, man. It was just those little words, man. Those little words.
You could relate because that's
Exactly.
It's something that you do. It's something that comes out.
That
of
is
you
something that a
naturally.
lot of people don't understand about the Crown Prince.
Yeah.
They don't have no idea how much we all relate to him. They think, like, you know, he's just a Crown Prince of the kingdom. This is how the world sees it. They don't know, like, this is a person that we actually, it's like us up there.
It's our generation.
It's our representative.
Yes.
If you want someone to represent this generation
Exactly.
in a place of power,
Exactly.
we have him.
That's exactly it.
And so when I heard him speak this way, it made me so proud. It made me so, so proud that this is okay.